Okay, here's what I decided to do with the light bar. Let me turn it back over here for a minute. Besides scratching the crap out of it, there it is. Okay, somewhat done. I'm not quite done, but it's somewhat done. This is a jig that I made many years ago, actually. Probably 3 years ago, maybe. When I made this Kydex press, as you can see. And, you know, you put your Kydex with your firearm in there and you ratchet it down and it tightens it down. I tried it a couple of different ways. I tried it with a higher one. I tried it just flat. But to get it even, so when you pressed it down, it pressed even, that's what I needed. And then, as you can see, I channeled it so that the strap doesn't fall off. And that works great. It really does. So this was an experiment on one that I was making smaller to try to see how it would work or not work. And I thought, yeah, I'm just going to keep it because I can use that, as you can see. It's been sitting on the shelf for 2 or 3 years. However, here we are. Here's what I'm going to do. Bingo. So from the end of this to the gutter, 7 inches. The gutter is 3/4 of an inch. Hanging off. So I have 3/4 of an inch that I can actually place this into and drill into and get a secure drill a bit. And then I gave myself an extra 2 inches to put up on top, which I'm going to channel. I'll put 2 screws in here, and I'm either going to channel this or channel this. Alright, so that I can have a little adjustment on it if I need it. So here's what I have. When this sits up, this is going to be bolted to the top of the rail. And it's going to come down like it is, and it's going to, right here, I'm going to stick it out, and it'll bolt into the gutter. This part I got to just flatten it out a little bit because that's going to bolt to the top of the rail. So that's what we have. So right now I have it just pressed in there, and I'm just going to leave it like that for a few minutes, and then I'm going to probably just heat it up a little bit just to help it. The only thing is, it's aluminum. Now the good is it's not going to rust. The bad is aluminum's okay, but it's not really the strongest thing in the world. So I wish I had that in some regular iron stock, and I don't. I just don't. I used to. I've got a lot of channel. This is all aluminum over here. So yeah, I really haven't got it, which I would prefer to have it, but at this point I don't have it. Yeah, is it worth going out and buying it? Nah, I think the aluminum would probably be okay. I know if I try to bend aluminum in the cold weather, it'll snap, you know, rip. But I think once this is formed, I think I should be okay. Well, time will tell, won't it? So that's where we're at. And then once I get it all done, then I'll clean up all these little cleanups and get all this all cleaned up and tape it off, give it one more top coat, let it dry, put it on the van, and I'm done. I got the plug on it, and that's all wired from there to there. I just got to put this in the van and wire it from there down. And what I'm going to use, I'm not going to use that big heavy trunking cable because it's going to be too much of a pain in the ass to work with. I think I'm just going to run this. I don't need heavy. This, I believe, is number, I don't even know what it is. I think it's 12 or 14. 16. Okay, well I can't use 16. That's a little too late. Well, actually, yeah, it's too late because I got to run some of it. If I was only going to run 4 or 5, 6 feet, that would be fine. 10 gauge, that's a little too heavy. What? I didn't buy any 12? What the hell's wrong with me? I don't believe this. I didn't buy 12? 12. Okay, here we go. Alright, so I'm just going to run some 12 gauge. That'll be more than enough. The ground, I'm going to ground it as soon as I come through the truck. I'm going to ground it right to the body of the truck inside. So all I really need to do is run 3 powers. And basically that's it. I wish I had 3 reds, Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Time out. No, that's not. Well, that's red, but that's reflective tape. That's not it. Green. Wait a minute. Maybe I do have. No, that's not heavy enough. And isn't long enough. There's another one back here. Wait a minute. Are they the same? No, that's heavy enough, but it's not long enough. That'll give me. Whoop. A fun bucket back a poco. Through my ancestry, I did find out I have quite a bit of Italian in me. That's not the reason why I'm, you know what I mean, but it's there. All right, I wish I had 3 reds that I can just throw together, but apparently I don't. So when I run this, the black one, I have to make sure that I mark the ends red, so that it'll be known as hot and not positive and negative. So I'm going to have to put some red tape on this, on the black side, on both ends, because it may not always be me working on that, and this way they'll know that it's not a ground, and then put it off the ground and they're blowing something. So yeah, I got no red. I haven't got enough of a. That's too heavy down there. That's like number 8. No, I haven't got any green. I can run all greens, but green in the machine world, indoor world, green is ground. But I do have enough green. I'll figure it out. But meanwhile, this is where I'm at. So I'm going to get the torch. I'm just going to heat that up a little bit to kind of help form it. And then I'll tack that down a little bit. I gotta hard it, not tack it, but bang it down, make it flat, and we'll take it one step at a time. So there's the idea. I'll be right back. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see if that's been in there long enough. It may or may not have been, but we'll see. It looks somewhat promising, but not totally promising. Let's see. No. Got it. Yeah. Well, that may work, but I'm going to try to get it over some more. If I leave it there maybe a little bit more, it'll, you know, with pressure on it, maybe it'll work a little bit. That actually would work, but it may put me a little too far out, so I'd have to remeasure the bend, you know, for the gutter, because this piece here is going to have to be bent out a little bit so I can bolt it into the gutter, which means I'd have to remeasure that, because I was measuring it with it being in more. So, alright, let me see. Let me take it out and see how it looks measurement wise. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the 2 of them. They were really close. I think I can show you how. There, right there. That's just off a hair, so that's not going to bother me. I'm going to clamp it though, however, because I want to make 2 clean cuts, and I don't want this thing to move. So I'm going to put another C-clamp on it there, and I may put one right there. I don't know. I mean, as long as it's down, it doesn't hurt to put a couple clamps on it. I'm going to leave it for a while anyway. It's not going to get done right away, but there we are. So there's the 2 of them. So the plan is, the first, once I get these cut clean, the first 2 inches are going to have holes drilled in them. I may put small slices so that they're adjustable. I don't know yet. And the same down here. Cut them clean, put a couple of holes. Now, instead of trying to bend this and have it right, or a case of it snapping because there's too much stress on it, I think I'm going to do is cut them clean, drill a couple holes, and then I'll buy a couple of stainless. You're not supposed to mix metals, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to be in salt water, so it shouldn't make a difference. Drill a couple holes, and I'll buy a couple of stainless, little stainless L brackets. Something like something like this thing, but wider, naturally. I may even have a couple in here. I may. The only thing is, these won't be stainless, I don't think. No, they're not wide enough. But a couple of these, basically, so I can adjust the height as well. Because I'll screw this into the gutter, and then I'll be able to adjust the height, so I know that I can make it level. Otherwise, I'm going to have to depend on how level I get it just by making the bends. And I really don't want to go through all that. So I just soon put little brackets on it, you know, and slice either that or the bracket, so it's like a channel, so I can adjust it up or down. So I may have them around here already. I may not have to go buy anything. I usually have all kinds of crap laying around, as we all do. The width is going to be important. Maybe. Nah. I'd rather have stainless. Alright, so that's where we're at. So that's what I'm going to do. This here way will give me adjustments. I don't have to depend so much on the cut, the angle, and bending this that much to where I have to worry about stress being on it and weakening it because I made such a bend in it. You know, if it was steel or something, I'd have, or an iron, whatever, I'd have more of an idea. By bending it, I'm really not going to take away enough of the stress, or enough of the integrity rather, to make a difference. On aluminum, I'm not sure about it. And I do know, like I say, when it gets cold, you can snap it if it's not warm, because I've snapped a couple rods trying to make an antenna one time because I didn't heat them up enough. Alright, so that's where we're at, guys. So let me get those cut and I'll be right back. There we go. So how these are going to be is basically going to go in there like that, and then I'm going to put L brackets that are adjustable in the gutter so that I can slide up and down to make adjustments to make sure that it's straight and level with the truck, so it doesn't look like it's like this. If I didn't do that, I would probably end up having it somewhat crooked. I need adjustment. So what I did was I took that aluminum flat stock and I cut two of them off, and that's what I ended up with. So a little off here and there, but you're not going to notice that once it's up there, because that's going to be bolted down anyway. Actually, I should put a clip on it, a clamp on it. And they are the same size. So what I used was this flat stock. Like I say, it's aluminum. I'd much rather had steel or metal or stainless, but this is what I started with. So should be okay. So now I just got to pick up a couple of, or make a couple of L brackets, you know, something like and then I want a couple of tracks in it so that I can slide these up and down on the tracks. Oh, I got to sand that one off a little bit.